And we are back. This is Elliott Serrano and Jose Melendez coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here on the Comic Culture Warrior YouTube channel, where every week Jose and I have our conversations about comics. We've done a few reviews, which is something that people have been wanting. We've reviewed Dark Avengers.
Sometimes it feels like it doesn't matter what we review. We're never reviewing what people want us to review.
That's true. I thought, the Dollhouse review was well received. Did you catch it this past weekend?
Dude, was that enough ass kicking for you?
Oh, that's what I wanted to see. Yeah. That's what I wanted to see. Yes, the show is definitely growing on me.
Elliott must be loving the
I'm
fuck
loving
out of this
the. I
right now.
love that one right now. But I was doing some research. I was reading a little more about Dollhouse Online, and someone had actually posed that question to Joss Whedon as to why he opened with that particular episode, the one where Eliza Dushku is not really the ass kicker, and letting someone else do the ass kicking. So he had his reasons for that, and he says that you will be seeing more of her ass kicking.
But did you read that first episode, he had to almost reshoot the entire thing?
Yes. There were a lot of issues going on with that.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm kind of wondering what the original pilot was.
I'm guessing that'll come out on the DVD when it comes out. But in any case, the Dollhouse review was pretty well received. Our first Invincible Iron Man review, very well received. And now we want to talk about manga, which is something that Jose has actually been trying to get us to talk about for a while. And he gave me Gantz, the series by Hiroya Uko. Is it Hiroya Uka?
Hiroya Oku.
Oku, I'm sorry. An interesting take on reality television, violence, cosplay, a whole bunch of stuff all mishmashed together. And I read the first three.
There's three. The first three English volumes are out currently right now from Dark Horse.
Right.
There's only 3 of them out right now.
And
they're releasing about one a month, which is good because there's a lot that need to get through.
I used to read more manga when I was younger in high school, back in the Robotech days,
Those are good days.
Those were good days. Then I fell out of it for a while, and then Jose's just been getting me into it now. So I will say this, Gantz has a lot of different elements. The elements about manga that I really, really like, which is first, the artwork, which is just so incredibly kinetic. It has you feel the motion in the panels, the storytelling, the breakdowns. At one point, it got a little bit confusing for me. Again, I'm not as conditioned to reading this as you might be, but overall,
was this your first time reading manga in the original format?
No.
Okay,
so it's not my first time.
So you weren't confused about that.
No.
Okay.
You get used to that actually fairly quickly.
You do.
The only things that got to me were, and we've talked about this, is the dialogue, which to me seems a bit choppy because again, it's from the Japanese, and I'm sure there's a lot of context and even subtext that's lost in the translation. But overall, really clever story, and to me, it really picked up after the second volume. Mm-hmm. And then when we got to the third volume, I started reading it, and it seemed to me like I was going, gee, they're forgetting everything that happened in the previous 2 albums. What's going on here? And then all of a sudden, everything that was set up there is just ripped right back into the narrative. And I went, oh, now that's clever. Mm-hmm. Now that's clever. That really does make sense to me. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm thinking, as it goes along, I'll probably borrow more of the volumes from you so I can read them. But I will say this: if you're telling me that these segments come out in these little chunks from week to week, oh, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah,
that would drive me bonkers.
But you're getting 32 pages a week instead of 32 pages or 22 pages
a month.
Like a month
right.
for American comics. You're getting that in a week.
That's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of decompression, but that's manga. That's just the way that the storytelling is. That's how it is.
Well, that's huge on decompression too, though.
Right,
but that's sort
manga
of
as an art form. That's just the storytelling. That's always how it's. Since I've been reading it since the '80s, that's just how it is, and that's why it comes off as so kinetic and so. It breaks down. They're like storyboards to a movie, except that you see every frame as a storyboard, pretty much.
Right. But it is very good, and the artwork in that is really impressive. I can see how so many readers are into manga. There is that whole
very mature title.
By the way. Oh yeah, no. Do not give this to your kids. Yeah. And to me, you know what? The whole issue with the boobs that's not even the issue.
No, it's not the issue.
That's not even the issue. I think the female form is wonderful, and we should all appreciate it. But the guts and the heads flying, and the scene where the guys get hit by the subway train.
Well,
Japanese manga really is. It is very mature, and it deals with some topics, especially with Gantz. Really talks a lot about the cruelty of humans. I mean, the cruelty of people. Is the Yakuza in Japan, gangs in high schools.
And the main character is not very likable.
No, the main character is kind of a dick.
Yeah, it's kind of a big dick.
He's a little dick. But, I mean, at the same time...
He's just very unsympathetic, but I get that.
You get it, right. And the other character, who he's supposed to look up to, his friend, is a sympathetic character, but he's forced into the background.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe later on as it goes, we'll see more of those characters. But, no, you're right. It deals with some subjects that I think you have to have a certain amount of life experience to really be able to be able to appreciate. Otherwise, it's just going to be a case where you're that kid who flips through. And I commented to Jose that all the little chapter
pinups.
The little separations and chapters are this woman in various states of disrobe, and man. It would really detract from the story if you wouldn't really read it.
But again, if you get it in a weekly thing, it's just one pinup,
That's true.
And then you read the story.
Well, that's your little break between the guts flying and the heads getting blown off. Ah, boobs. Oh goodness, I sure hope my mom's not watching this.
Nice. But one of the other things that I liked about Gantz. Is that actually there's an anime DVD set of it out, which I think probably covers the first two or the first big couple of storylines. Because obviously the anime doesn't get it as far as the comic, because the comic's still going in Japan. I think it's on volume 26 right now. Mm-hmm. Like Invincible, like Walking Dead, do not get attached to these characters.
Oh, no! Really?
That's one of the great things about this. Is again, it has that Walking Dead feel, and it has Invincible, where
okay, don't get attached.
Yeah,
okay,
some pretty tragic shit that comes down.
Please tell me nothing happens to the dog.
Actually, I don't remember what happens to the dog. I'll have to look at it because I have the first 20 volumes at home.
All right,
the Japanese.
As long as the dog's fine, I don't care.
No, but the dog, I think the dog does pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note. Check it out. If you're at least how young would you say?
No, you 17.
17.
There's some
mature 15 and 16-year-olds out there.
No.
Okay, tell you right now, if your parents won't let you have pictures of naked chicks, you can't have the book. So it's a
and maturity is again, it's all
relative.
It's all...
I know some 20-year-olds that really shouldn't be reading that book because they wouldn't be able to handle it. So
yeah.
So anyway, okay, folks, that's that on this, and if you've bared with us this long, thanks. We hope to see you in the next segment.